Hi, I'm Susan Rutledge, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to add new colors to Adobe Illustrator using the Blend tool. Now, there are actually a lot of different ways to add colors and even modify colors in Illustrator. However, we're going to talk about a fast way to create a blend of colors here, and this is a method I think you're going to find very useful. First, I'll click on a square so that I can access the color fill icon in the Properties panel, and what we see are the swatches that actually come with Illustrator. Sometimes these are all the colors that I need, but more often than not, I need a wider variety of colors, and that's why I find this particular method so useful. So I'm going to click on the artboard to close the swatches panel. And I'm going to first copy this yellow square. I'll hold down the Option key to make a copy and hold down the Shift key to just drag right underneath the square on top of it. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. I'll hold down the Option key to make a copy and the Shift key to stay right in that same line. Then I'll move over to the color fill icon and I'm going to choose this dark green for the right square, and on the left square I'm going to use a light green. We'll try this one right here. And then I'm going to select both of the squares and I'm going to go up to Object, down to Blend, and choose Make. Now, what we end up with is a blend from light green to dark green, and it looks really nice, but it's not what I wanted. So I'm going to select this blend and come back up to Object, down to Blend, and I'll choose Blend Options. Now, the reason that I ended up with this smooth blend is because of the setting here, Smooth Color. I'm going to click here and pull down the other options, and I'm going to choose Specified Steps. Well, I certainly don't need 178 colors, so I'm going to highlight this and change this number to 10, and then I'll uncheck Preview and check it again, and we see Illustrator has added 10 steps, each of a different color between my light green and my dark green, and I think that's going to be just perfect, so I'll say OK. Now, these colors are going to move around together unless I expand them and ungroup them. So I'll first come up to Object, down to Expand. I'm going to leave Object and Fill checked and say OK. Then I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut Shift Command G to ungroup them. And when I click on the artboard to deselect everything, then I can select any one of these colors individually. Now, I'm not limited to choosing colors that are similar. Let's try this again with some really different colors. I'm going to hold down the Option key and the Shift key, and we're going to make another copy here, and the same on the right side. And then let's come over and pick some different colors. I'm going to do a deep purple on the right side, and then for this left side, I'm going to choose a light orange and say OK. Then I'll select both of the squares, come up to Object, down to Blend, and choose the Blend Options, and I've got to change the spacing again, so I'll click on Specified Steps. I'll leave this value at 10 and say OK. But this time nothing happened, and this is one of those little quirky things about the Blend tool that you're just going to have to remember. Last time when we did the greens, I went to Blend and then Make. This time I went to Blend and then Blend Options. If you go to Blend Options first, then you're going to have to go back and choose Blend Make for those changes to actually take effect. So I'm going to have to go back up to Object, down to Blend, and this time choose Make. And now Illustrator adds my 10 steps in between the light orange and the deep purple. So you see how easy it is to create all of these different colors. Now, to make these swatches useful, I'm going to first select them, and then I'm going to come over to the Properties panel, and the color fill icon right now has a question mark, and that's because I have a number of different colors selected. Well, I can click on the icon and I can add them anyway. I'll come down to the bottom bar, and here this little file looking icon is the new color group icon. I'm going to click here to open up this dialog box. I'm going to give my color group a name. I'm going to type in greens, and by default, selected artwork is chosen. That means that each one of the colors that is selected on the artboard is going to be included in the greens color group. Now I have include swatches for tints checked. I don't need these to be global colors, so I'm going to leave this unchecked, and I'll say OK. Now immediately Illustrator has added this color group to my swatches panel, and I can use these for the duration of this project. Now if I want to save these colors for more than just this document, I have to save them to a swatches library. So I'm going to open up the swatches panel. Now I only want to save the greens, so I'm going to click on the white and then hold the shift key down and come to the end here and click on this little Pompadour 2. That selects all of these swatches. I'm going to come down and click on the trash can to delete all of those. And yes, I do want to delete them. Well, all I'm left with is the greens. I'm not able to delete these two options. Now I can come down to this little icon in the bottom left corner, which is the Swatch Libraries menu, and I'll slide all the way up to the top and click on Save Swatches. Now Illustrator gives me the option to give the swatches a name, and I don't want the name of my document. I want something that's going to remind me of what the swatches actually are. So I'm going to name this Greens and click Save. Then I'll click on the artboard to close the swatches panel, and I'll move to another document. Now I get the rectangle tool, keyboard shortcut M, so that I can come over and click on the color fill icon to open the swatches panel. Well, we don't see the greens added to the swatches panel, but they're there. All we have to do is come down to the Swatch Libraries menu, click to open up this list, and I want to go to User Defined, and here we find my greens. So I'll click here, and this opens up a whole nother tab that has the green colors which we've added. And if I want, I can actually click on this little icon right here and add this to my swatches, and then as we open this up, they're added to the swatches panel, and I can close this out. And that's how you access these colors over and over again for different projects. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video and you've learned a really fast way to add some colors to your projects. I know this is a method I'm going to be using all the time. I do want to invite you to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any of my future tutorials, and I'll look forward to seeing you again next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye now.